Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. Got a big video for you for our second video on this Saturday morning. We are releasing the second and final spring 2024 seed model roundup. So you can get 14 long-range models, 4 long-range models together from the world's leading forecast centres. See what they're all showing for spring 2024 for only the second but the final time this season. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. This, of course, ahead of tomorrow's spring 2024 forecast from GavsWeatherVids. Now, more about that in a second. Just say that first video is our 6am UK weather forecast, got weekend forecast, and potential 14 there, with all our regular features coming up for you today as well. So please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much everybody for doing that. Thank you so much Richard for our amazing spring updates. This will be the final time that you see Paul and Steffi, our little bundles of fluff here. On the spring updates gift, because tomorrow got a special gift for the spring forecast, so you'll see that tomorrow. Thanks so much, Rich. I love it. It's been an amazing gift. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, okay, let's do the second season round then for spring 2024. I'm going to start off with CanSIPS, as always, from Tropical Tidbits. So this is the mean sea level pressure anomaly from CanSIPS, and we see some blocking actually centered around Greenland with lower pressure underneath it. So that actually looks like quite a cool and wet pattern potentially for the spring, maybe with some east winds. Remember, spring's a transitional season, so you get easterlies in March, they're likely to be quite cold. If you get easterlies in May, and May is our most easterly of all of the months in the year, then they are likely to be relatively warm by that point. So everybody, right, okay, this is how the temperature anomaly is shaping up from CanSIPS for the spring, March, April, and May. No, average is slightly above, not a particularly cold spring indicated there. Precipitation-wise, it's actually rather on the drier side to the north and wetter to the south, so it does look a very wet spring for Spain and Portugal, interestingly, but dry for Scotland and Iceland, and Ireland and southern parts of Britain, you know, in between. Right, that's that one done. Let's go through the MME suite of models, shall we? Starting off with NASA. So this is the temperature anomaly for the spring of 2024. Actually a little bit on the cold side, so about average really, or no signal. But if we come here, actually quite a cold spring in signal there for much of northern and northwestern Europe. So rather, I mean, these models normally show above average temperature, so anything that shows sort of average or below average is quite unusual. Now, a rather cooler spring indicated there, and a rather wet spring as well, with above average rainfall, driving average to south of Greenland, around Iceland, and over towards Norway, could be indicative of blocking signals for this spring from NASA. GEM, the Canadian model, is also coming out with about average temperatures. Again, Northern Europe looks like it could be a little bit on the colder side, though. And a little bit drier as well with the GEM. So drier to the north and wetter down to the south there. And then lastly, we've got Encar, and this is going for a rather milder spring in these orange colours. Not excessively summer, temperature scale, it's only around half a degree to 1 degree above average, but it's the mildest of the three, and a little bit on the drier side as well. So that's quite a mild, dry spring there from Encar. So you pay your money, pays your choice, really, with those models. Then we got the IRI multimodel probability forecast for temperature for spring 2024. This, of course, is Columbia Climate School, International Research Institute for Climate and Society. Try saying all of that when you've been on the magic water. So we see probabilities are favouring a warmer than average spring, particularly so for Ireland, England and Wales, where we see a deeper salmon pink shade. So that's like 50 to 60% probability of above average temperature this spring. Even in the north, not of average to above average probability for above average temperatures this spring. And as far as precipitation is concerned, so a dry and average spring is favoured for more southern areas by about 40% or so. No signal, perhaps though, further north. So a rather warm, dry spring could be on the cards there, if those probabilities are correct. Now, unfortunately, we haven't had an update from Patel P so far this year, so I'm not sure what's happened. I hope everything's okay. with Patel. I know we had one last month, but I was expecting that we'd get an update this month. Again, no update this month. So as soon as we get an update, right, here's something about Patel P, but I'll let everybody know. I'm getting a little bit concerned, actually, because it's quite unusual for Patel to go this long without updates. He didn't update in December either, I don't think. So I don't think there's been an update from Patel P since November, actually. They're a little bit concerning. Hope everything's okay. If anybody's watching from NOAA or NCP, any of the other Met agencies like UK Met, then, please DM me or email me at GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com. Let me know that everything's okay with Patel. I'm a little bit worried about him. Anyway, on to a CFS, last model for the North American models then. And this is how a 700 millibar height anomaly is looking for the spring of 2024, with blocking around Greenland and Iceland. This white area could be lower pressure, not necessarily low pressure, but it could be lower pressure. That might actually end up a relatively cool and wetty signal for the spring, maybe with some easterly or northeasterly winds. The temperature anomaly for this spring is again no better than average, or possibly has no seal, which for this model is quite cool. Normally this model would be always favouring the oranges and the reds. The fact that it's just going for like average or no signal is a little bit different. And as far as precipitation goes, it's going to be, if it's right anyway, it's going to be drier to the north. Again, that could be indicative of some blocking signals in the North Atlantic, up towards Scandinavia, and wetter to the south around Spain and Portugal, and into the Mediterranean and whatnot. Right, that's it for the North American models then. Let's come to Europe, have a look at the ECMWF model to start us off. Again, this is mean sea level pressure anomaly with low pressure just to our west and southwest. Again, there's a bit of blocking up towards Greenland, and we could be bringing up wind from like a southwesterly type direction. So potentially quite a wet spring indicated there, but should be relatively mild with above average temperature. What are these signalling? Average or above with the temperature anomaly. Again, not excessive, but around half a degree, 1 degree above normal looks possible there. And a rather wet spring is indicated, particularly so more to our south and southwest. So the deluge goes on into spring with ECM. Let's go through the Copernicus suite, starting off with Meteo France. Again, mean sea pressure anomaly for this spring with a mid-Atlantic ridge, and probably sending the jet stream on a northwest to southeast alignment there. The temperature anomaly comes out about half a degree to 1 degree above average, and precipitation, not much of a signal. Excuse me, not much of a signal there. For the DWD icon, again, we have a bit of a blocking signal up towards Greenland here with the German model. Low pressure is in the Azores. That's like a classic negative NAO-AO type combination. And that could lead us to be bringing in the wind from the east or possibly even the northeast there at times. The temperature anomaly is a little bit above average. However, despite blocking signals, get around half a degree, 1 degree above normal. And once more, we see no particular useful signal for precipitation. It's either no signal or average. And we've got the ECCC. This looks like it could be quite wet. Again, there's a bit of a blocking signal up towards green. Quite a few of these European models are going for that. But again, they went for that. A lot of these models went for that for the winter. And we know what comes of that. But anyway, high pressure in the North Atlantic up towards Greenland. Low pressure is to the south. Winds tend to come in, excuse me, again, from potentially like an easterly direction, but could be a wet signal from more southern parts of the country. The temperature anomaly is about average, really, so a little bit lower with this particular model. And yes, it looks very wet, actually, just to our south, a very wet spring indicated there, particularly for Spain and Portugal, but possibly up into France, Ireland, and the UK as well. And they've got CMCC, which also looks pretty unsettled, placing a trough of low pressure right over top of the UK and Ireland. The temperature anomaly for this spring, again, it's coming out just a little bit above average, about half a degree, possibly up to 1 degree above normal. And a rather wetty spring is indicated there yet again. A lot of these models seem to go for a wet spring, don't they? Then finally, with Copernicus suite, we've got the JMA. This one with high pressure towards Scandinavia, which is something different with most of these models. Low pressure out in the Atlantic. So a bit of a battle going on here, but possibly that Scandinavian high dominating factor, with winds maybe more from the east through this spring. Temperature anomaly is slightly above average. Note, most parts of Northern Europe, average or no signal. And as far as precipitation is concerned, so it's wetter than average just to our south and southwest, but drier than average to the north with the Japanese Meteorological Agency. Keeping the Asian theme going, we move on to the Beijing Climate Centre penultimately. If you've enjoyed this season 1 roundup, we're nearly at the end now. If you've enjoyed this season 1 roundup for spring 2024, please you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Right, so, and drop a comment as well once you've finished watching the video. So 500 millibar height anomaly from the Beijing Climate Centre with a mid-Atlantic ridge going towards the north of Scotland. That could bring the wind in from more of an east or a northeasterly direction. 200 millibar height anomaly shows up a little bit better. Again, higher pressure in the North Atlantic. Around that, we might pull the wind in from more of a east or northeasterly direction there. Now, the temperature anomaly is no better than average, really. So, you know, that's a slightly cooler season compared to what we normally get, which is above average temperatures, and rather dry spring as well, indicated with that higher pressure sort of blocking off the Atlantic quite a bit. And finally, we've got our very own UK Met Office, Glossy Pollen, and, well, if this had been winter, this would be epic, wouldn't it? This means pressure anomaly blocking, very much centred around Greenland and Iceland, low pressure through the Azores, classic sort of negative AO-NAO combination would bring the wind in from more of an easterly direction. The temperature anomaly, however, despite the blocking, is coming out ever so slightly above average in those orange shadings. That's like half a degree or so above normal maybe, and rather wet spring is indicated there. So I reckon it could be quite a cool wet spring, but the UK Met is going for with that one. And we're done. There we go. So if you've enjoyed this second spring 2024 season 1 roundup, please you like, share and subscribe. And thank you to everybody for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our bids. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. So I think we've got a clear signal there for a wet spring. Anyway, a little bit variable with the overall pattern that's delivering that. Lots of those, particularly the European models, seem to have quite a lot of northern blocking through this spring, and a lot of them seem to be going for not excessively mild temperatures this spring. Maybe quite a cold, wet spring could be possible here if these models are right. But again, you know, given the performance of a lot of these seasonal and long-range models through the winter, you have to question how reliable these projections are for the spring. But that's what they're showing anyway. And we shall see. And you'll find out tomorrow what GavsWeatherVids is forecasting for spring 2024. So be an interesting watch coming up for you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to very quickly roll on to our summer updates. So all things summer even still to come. Right, okay, so I'm going to be back shortly with weekend forecast and your 10 to 14 day. Keep checking back to the channel for more, but for this second and final spring 2024 update, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.